Welcome to Ron's Amazing Stories, the podcast where every episode takes you on a journey through captivating tales, thrilling adventures, and unforgettable moments.
It's amazing.
From heart-pounding mysteries to inspiring true stories, we'll bring you narratives that spark your imagination and keep you on the edge of your seat. So sit back, relax, and get ready to explore the extraordinary. Because with Ron, every story is an amazing story.
That's amazing.
What's that you said?
Hello and welcome to the podcast. This week on Ron's Amazing Stories is going to be a little bit different. Actually, that might be understating it a bit. This is going to be one of those shows I've been looking forward to putting together for quite a while because just about everything we have this week represents something new, or at least a new direction for the podcast. First, we're going to debut a brand new segment called the RAS Signal. I've been thinking about this for some time and I wanted to bring more of me into the show, and this is my answer to that. Then, after the signal, we'll get back to some good old-fashioned detective work with an episode of Richard Diamond, Private Detective. And finally, well, I did something. I wrote a song. Okay, technically I wrote the lyrics to a song. We'll get to exactly how the rest happened later in the show. But yes, before we're finished today, you're going to hear the world premiere, and possibly only premiere, of a Ron's Amazing Stories song. And I have to tell you, putting this episode together was just plain fun. It reminded me the reasons I started Ron's Amazing Stories in the first place. I wanted a place where I could try things, explore ideas, enjoy some great stories, and every once in a while do something simply because it sounded like fun. And that's what this episode is. It's also a bit of an experiment, and that means I really want to hear from you. When the show is over, take a moment and tell me what you thought. Did you like the RAS Signal? Would you like to hear more shows like this one? And what did you think of the song? So, now that we know what's coming, let's get started. So, what is the RAS Signal? That's a good question because when I first started thinking about it, I wasn't entirely sure myself. I knew what I wanted it to feel like before I knew exactly what it was going to be. For years, Ron's Amazing Stories have been built around the stories themselves. I introduce them, I give you the background, I tell you where they came from, whether from fellow listeners or old-time radio, and then I get out of the way and let stories do what they do best. And I still love that format. But lately, I found myself wanting to do more, especially when it comes to old-time radio. There are people behind these stories, the writers, the actors, directors, producers, sound effect artists, and musicians. There are strange bits of radio history, programs that disappeared, programs that changed names, actors who suddenly became stars, and ideas from the golden age of radio that somehow still sound fresh today. And after doing this program for all these years, I've collected quite a few thoughts about it all. So, I decided it was time to give those thoughts somewhere to go. And that somewhere is the RAS Signal. Think of it as a little broadcast inside the broadcast. We'll cover it all, and occasionally we might even wander outside the lines of old-time radio altogether. And that's going to be part of the fun. There are no rules for the RAS Signal yet, and I don't think I want there to be. Because after all these years of saying, "Here's today's story," I figured maybe it was time I stuck around and talked for a while. You may even regret my decision. But there's another reason I'm doing it. Radio has always been more than just entertainment to me. There's something about sitting in front of a microphone and talking to someone you can't see. You don't know where they are. Maybe they're driving home from work. Maybe they're sitting in their favorite chair. Or maybe they're listening late at night with headphones on. You just don't know. And yet somehow, through nothing more than sound, you're all sharing the same moment. That's radio. And that's what I want the RAS Signal to celebrate. So, that's the idea. A little history, a few opinions, probably some stories, and almost certainly a tangent or two. Now, without any further ado, here is the premiere of the RAS Signal.
It's time for the RAS Signal, where radio meets history and everything else in between.
Welcome to the first edition of the RAS Signal, where we explore the history, the hows, and maybe even a few whys behind the golden age of radio. Let's get started. Cinema and television gave us an image, but radio gave birth to a million images in a million different brains. But how did they do it? Well, listen to this clip.
Give me the police department.
One moment, please. I will connect you.
I can hear him. Oh, I can hear him. He's coming nearer. Oh, I know it. Hurry! Hurry! Hurry, please!
Two questions for you. What did you hear? But more importantly, what did you see? Well, what you heard was Agnes Moorehead reading a script by Lucille Fletcher. It came from the suspense episode, Sorry, Wrong Number. I can't say what you saw, but I can tell you what I saw. A frantic woman on the phone being murdered, probably inside, as a train or subway car rolled by. That's what my brain imagined. What did you see? Stop and roll it back if you need to. Writers for radio were a different beast from the visual media variety. On television, they don't have to tell you anything. You could just see it for yourself. Radio writers didn't have that luxury. Everything the listener needed had to come through their ears. Dialogue, narration, music, sound effects, even silence. The writer had to understand how all those things could work together to tell the story. And they didn't get any extra time to do it. That made writing a radio script a whole different challenge. Now let me play you another clip. This one comes from Gunsmoke in an episode titled Buffalo Killers. It was episode number 7, so this was pretty early in the series. John Meston wrote the script, and I want you to listen closely because there's going to be a question afterward.
Howdy, Marshal.
Hello, Mr. Biggs. Can I give you a hand?
No. This is the last batch here. Hey, wait till the flies get to these buffalo hides in the morning and be enough vultures overhead to keep the place in the shade for a week.
Yeah.
You know, you'll sure have your hands full by tomorrow night.
It looks that way.
When these boys turn them hides into cash, they'll bite the corks out of every bottle in town. And some of them look mean enough sober.
Yeah. Well, you better bed down and get some sleep, Mr. Biggs. Where are your boys?
I don't know. Jeff had some trouble with the dry axle up near Pawnee Rock, and Boaz stopped to help him fix it, but they shouldn't be this long behind me.
Well, if I see him, I'll tell him where to find you.
You can tell Jeff, but Boaz ain't even going to hear you.
Why? What's the matter with him?
Oh, he's riding higher than an eagle. You know that white buffalo you've been hearing about?
The albino?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's just Indian talk.
Oh, you think so, huh? Well, if it is, Boaz sure shot himself a mighty scared buffalo. White as borax.
That ought to fetch a price.
Hey, anybody seen Marshal Dillon?
Over here, Chester.
You better saddle up, Mr. Dillon.
What's the matter, Chester?
Indian trouble. 2 men dead and a couple of wagons burned up out there. I found this.
A war rattle. Made out of buffalo toes. Arapaho. Well, they haven't been making any trouble.
Well, these did. I was topping a hill when I saw the wagons go up in fire. It was Indians, all right. I saw one ride off.
That's funny. I never heard of Arapahoes attacking at night. How far out, Chester?
10 mile, maybe, toward Pawnee Rock.
Pawnee Rock. Marshal, my sons was coming from there.
Easy, Mr. Biggs. Lots of wagons in the territory.
Marshal, I didn't see another wagon between here and Pawnee except the ones we had, but the Indians killed my boys.
There's only one way to make sure, Mr. Biggs. Saddle up and ride over to my office. I'll be with you as soon as I can get my horse.
Now, I've already told you what you just heard. So my question is, what did you see? I'll tell you what I saw. I saw men handling piles of smelly buffalo hides. I saw the streets of Dodge City around them. I pictured wagons, horses, and people going through their daily business. And the dialogue even took me a bit further. I could picture buffalo hunters coming into town with money pouring out of their pockets. I could even see that white buffalo out there on the prairie. And when Chester arrived, suddenly there was something happening miles outside of Dodge. Now, here's the interesting part. John Meston never showed me any of that. I did it myself. Oh, he gave the words. The actors gave them life. The sound effects even gave me a place. But my brain did the rest. And I'll bet your Dodge City didn't look anything like mine. That's something the radio writer had to understand. He didn't have to describe every building, every horse, every person walking down the street. He just had to give your imagination enough to get it all started. But sometimes the writer could do even less than that. Sometimes the most important thing that a radio writer could write into the script wasn't a word at all. Let's go back to Lucille Fletcher and Sorry, Wrong Number. Listen carefully.
Just 15 minutes past 11.
What was that?
What was what, madam?
That click just now in my own telephone? As though someone had lifted the receiver off the hook of the extension telephone downstairs?
Well, I didn't hear it, madam. Now, about this...
But I did. There's someone in this house. Someone downstairs in the kitchen. And they're listening to me now. They're listening!
Did you hear it? The click? Someone picked up another phone. That's all it took. Suddenly, we know that Agnes Moorehead, and the character knows it too, she isn't alone. And we know something else. Whoever picked up that phone is somewhere else in the house. Think about what Lucille Fletcher just accomplished. We have an upstairs and a downstairs. We have a frightened woman in one part of the house and someone else in another. We understand the distance between them, and we know that that distance may be getting shorter. And she created all of that with one little sound. A click. And that was the challenge these writers faced every week. They had to make us see with our ears. And Lucille Fletcher was one of the masters of it. Sorry, Wrong Number is probably her best-known radio work, but she also wrote The Hitchhiker, Another story that proves just how much you can do with a few carefully chosen words and the imagination of the listener. Then there was John Meston. Meston helped create the world of Gunsmoke. And think about the size of that world for a minute. Dodge City was one thing, but the stories took us to saloons, jails, ranches, cabins, and all the way out onto the open prairie. And somehow, we always knew where we were. Meston didn't have to describe every dusty street or tell us what every character looked like. A few words, a creak of a saddle, horses in the distance, and boots crossing a wooden floor. And then our imaginations would take over. And Meston and Fletcher were hardly alone. Willis Cooper created Lights Out and later Quiet Please. Cooper understood that sometimes what you didn't hear could be just as important as what you did. And then there was Arch Obler, who took Lights Out in his own direction. Obler wasn't afraid to experiment with radio. Strange voices, unusual sounds, silence, whatever he needed to get inside the listener's head. And then there's one of my personal favorites, Blake Edwards. Yes, that Blake Edwards. Long before movies like Breakfast at Tiffany's and The Pink Panther, Edwards was writing radio. He created Richard Diamond, Private Detective. And if you listen to him right here on our show, you know that his writing style was all his own. It was fast, it was clever, and he didn't just solve crimes. He had a personality. Edward used dialogue to create that personality. The exchanges between Diamond and Lieutenant Levinson would tell you as much about those guys as any picture ever could. And then there were the conversations between Diamond and Helen Asher. Dicey. You got to know these people by listening to them. And that brings me back to something I said earlier. Radio writers had words, but words were only part of the toolbox. They had footsteps, doors, telephones, cars, horses, music, a train passing in the night, and probably one of the most powerful sounds of all. Silence. And the trick was knowing when to use each one. A good writer didn't need to tell the listener, "A man is slowly walking towards the door." All he needed were footsteps. He didn't have to say, "She suddenly realizes someone else is downstairs." Maybe all that was needed was a click. The writers supplied us just enough information. The actors supplied the voices. The sound people created the world around them, and they all just handed the whole thing over to us. We supplied the pictures. And that's why these old radio shows still work after all these years. The microphones may have changed, the studios are certainly gone, and most of the people that created these shows, well, they're gone too. But those pictures, dang, if they aren't all still here. They're just waiting for somebody else to press play. So, maybe next time you listen to one of these old-time radio dramas here on the show, you'll remember some of this. Listen to the words, listen to the sounds, and every once in a while, listen to what's not there. Maybe you'll hear something you've heard 100 times before, but just a little bit differently. And maybe you'll appreciate the incredible craft that went into creating these old-time radio shows. Well, that's all I have for you this time. I want to thank you for joining me on this first edition of the RAS Signal. Welcome back. Well, since I talked about Blake Edwards in the RAS Signal, I thought we should play some of his work. And there really was only one choice. Richard Diamond, Private Detective. The series was created by Blake Edwards and debuted on NBC Radio in 1949. He wrote scripts for at least 6 distinct radio programs, but this was most certainly his best. However, it wasn't your typical hard-boiled detective story. Oh, he could handle himself in a fight, carried a gun, and dealt with folks that you probably wouldn't invite over for Sunday dinner. But he also had a sense of humor, and that was a big part of the show's personality. Richard Diamond could walk into danger and still find time for a wisecrack or two. And then there was the man playing him, Dick Powell. Powell's career is a tale of Hollywood reinvention. If you had gone to the movies during the 1930s, you wouldn't have thought of Dick Powell as a tough guy. You would have known him as a singer. He was the romantic lead in musicals such as 42nd Street, Gold Diggers of 1933, Footlight Parade, and he was very successful at it. Now, I have never actually seen any of those movies, so I won't comment on them. The problem was that Powell eventually got tired of being the cheerful young fellow who sang to the leading lady. He wanted tougher roles, and Hollywood wasn't exactly rushing to give them to him. Then came 1944 and Murder, My Sweet, based on Raymond Chandler's novel, Farewell, My Lovely. He played Private Detective Philip Marlowe. And suddenly audiences saw an entirely different Dick Powell. The transformation worked, and he went from singer to film noir tough guy. Which brings us to Richard Diamond. Powell was made for this role because he could do both sides of the character. He could be convincing when Diamond had to get tough. He also had the timing and charm needed for humor. And every now and then, the musical Dick Powell would get a chance to sneak back in. In today's story, Diamond is hired by a wealthy Oklahoma man to investigate the death of his brother. The official explanation is simple. The man fell off his horse and it was ruled an accident. But there's a problem. The dead man was an exceptional horseman. So why would an experienced rider suddenly fall from his horse and die? That's the question Richard Diamond has been hired to answer. Of course, Diamond himself isn't exactly an expert when it comes to horses. But when has a little thing like that ever stopped a private detective? From September 27th, 1950, here is Dick Powell as Richard Diamond in the Oklahoma Cowboy Murder Case.
Listen while the makers of Rexall drug products and 10,000 independent Rexall family druggists bring you Dick Powell as Richard Diamond, Private Detective. Now, your Rexall family druggist brings you a transcribed half hour with Richard Diamond, Private Detective, starring Dick Powell.
Oh, pardon me. Huh? You know where I might find Mr. Richard Diamond?
You want to hire him?
Yes.
Well, stop being so bashful, friend. Come in.
Thank you. You're Mr. Diamond?
Well, any resemblance to the Irish washerwoman is purely intentional.
Do you always do your own laundry?
Always. Keeps my petty cash from looking too petty. Sit down, Mr.
Baxter. Clay Baxter from Oak Mulgee, Oklahoma.
Clay Baxter from Oak Mulgee, Oklahoma. Was a man, I guess, to be in his early 50s. Straight up, he crowded 6'3", counting the 2-inch heels on his handmade boots. Looking at him, I thought of an old Remington print and suddenly felt like singing a chorus of Home on the Range.
I'd like you to come to Oak Mulgee with me, Mr. Diamond.
Well, why, Mr. Baxter?
My brother was killed yesterday. The sheriff and the coroner said it was an accident. I don't believe it.
How did you happen to look me up?
I raise cattle, Mr. Diamond. I do a great deal of business in Chicago and New York. I wanted a detective with experience, someone with a good reputation.
Bless you.
I called a friend on Wall Street, and he recommended several men. One of them was you. I checked your background. I'm satisfied.
Oh, good. I charge $100 a day in expenses.
Chicken feed. I'll pay it, and if you catch the man who done it, I'll give you a $1,000 bonus.
Oh, well, now, I can't leave right away. It'll take me at least 5 minutes to get my affairs in order.
Yeah, I can certainly see you appreciate a buck.
Mr. Baxter, I appreciate a buck like a Texan appreciates Texas.
Texas? Never heard of it.
How was your brother supposed to have been killed?
Thrown from his horse, skull fracture.
And you don't believe it?
I do not.
Why?
Too good a horseman.
Well, it could have happened.
Well, if it did, he'd have taken the fall right. Might have busted something, but wouldn't have killed him.
Anything else?
His wife. My brother was a wealthy man, Mr. Diamond. His wife will inherit everything. Ranch, cattle, all worth about $8 or $10 million.
You think she had something to do with his death?
You tell me, Mr. Diamond.
I called Helen, told her I was off to Oak Mulgee, promised I'd send her a couple of Navajos or whatever they had out there. Then I took Clay Baxter over to my flat and threw a few things into a suitcase.
Oklahoma's dry.
So's Richard Diamond.
Might get arrested.
I don't want to leave it here.
Wouldn't make any difference if it was empty, would it?
No.
Got a couple of glasses?
A fifth usually adds up to a full evening, but that's only when Clay Baxter isn't around. When he poured one for the road, the water line receded 6 inches. I had a quick one, and he finished it.
How'd that soldier?
How do you feel?
Oh, lively.
Why don't we forget the plane? You just start running for the window, and I'll climb on. Oak Mulgee, Oklahoma. Population 17,091, according to the last census, and very hot in August. Baxter's station wagon's waiting at the airport, and the driver took us into town where I was introduced to the local law.
This here's Sheriff Billings.
How are you, Sheriff?
Jim, this is Mr. Diamond. He's a private detective from New York.
Howdy, Diamond.
Howdy.
Private detective, huh?
Oh, I've been called other things.
Still ain't satisfied, huh, Clay?
Not yet. And you ain't either, and you know it, Jim.
How about it, Sheriff? You think Mr. Baxter's brother was killed deliberately?
Coroner says it was an accident. Hit his head on a rock.
That ain't what Mr. Diamond asked.
Well, Will Baxter was a pretty good rider, but he could have been thrown.
I don't...
All the evidence says he was. Could see plain where his horse bolted.
What could have made his horse shy?
Snake, maybe.
Not that horse, and you know it, Jim.
Well, maybe stepped in a chuck hole. He was limping right bad when he got back to the barn.
No signs of anyone else near the body?
Well, when I got there, some of Will's boys had already ridden out.
Who found him?
A couple old miners, Luke and Phineas Merriweather.
Well, let's go out to the ranch, Mr. Baxter, and take another look at the spot where your brother died.
Will Baxter's ranch is 40 miles from here, Mr. Diamond.
Maybe you'd like to go out to my place and freshen up a bit first. You go ahead and shave and shower. I'm going to go build me a drink.
Hey, this is quite a place, Mr. Baxter.
Glad you like it. Take a swim in the pool if you'd want, but watch out for the catfish.
Catfish?
I'm a bachelor. Don't use the pool much, and I don't usually have guests. Love catfish for dinner, so I keep them in the pool.
I caught a guy once floating bodies in his bathtub.
Don't say. Funny, Harvey.
I showered and shaved and met Baxter out by the pool where he was feeding his catfish. I watched a pound of liver disappear like lychee nuts in the Tong War. And we all headed back to town where we picked up Sheriff Billings. 40 miles later, we pulled up in front of the late Will Baxter's ranch. A little different architecture, but just as impressive as my client's.
Clay. Afternoon, Sheriff.
Oh, Wilma.
Afternoon, Wilma.
Wilma, this here's Mr. Richard Diamond. Wilma Baxter, my brother's wife.
How do you do?
How do you do, Mr. Diamond?
Private detective. Come up from New York.
Oh? Well, why don't we all go in the house? It's too hot out here.
Mr. Diamond wants to go out and look at the spot where Will got himself killed.
Certainly. Have one of the boys fix you up with some horses.
When you're done, why not stop back for dinner?
Mr. Diamond's eating with me, and he's going to be pretty busy for a while.
Now, I'll give you a rain check, Mr. Diamond.
Oh, thank you.
I'd like you to tell me about New York. It's been a long time, and I've almost forgotten what it's like.
Let's go, Jim. It's getting late.
Bye, Mr. Diamond. Nice meeting you.
Goodbye, Mrs. Baxter.
Seems all broken up, don't she?
Yeah. Where was she when her husband got killed?
Perfect alibi. In town all day. A lot of people saw her. Mighty fine-looking woman.
Mighty. We all rode down to the stables, and one of the hands saddled up 3 horses, and we started out across the open desert. For a man who had spent all his life riding around in taxicabs, the experience was just short of agonizing.
Just up ahead, Diamond.
Swell.
Never rode much, did you?
No, I always bounce like this. Like to make my money belt jingle.
Well, here it is. Whoa.
Yeah, whoa.
Well, here's where they found the body.
Now, what did he hit his head on?
That rock right there.
Mm-hmm. Did you take an impression of the wound to see if it matched?
Nope.
Well, why not?
Never thought about it.
Well, that's a pretty good reason. Anyway, let's dig that rock out and take it back with us. I spent the next minutes limping around looking for something and came up with nothing except a longing for a hot Epsom salts bath. We dug up the large rock and took it back with us to Wilma Baxter's ranch.
Whoa,
Howdy, Sheriff.
Howdy, Frank. This here's Mr. Diamond, Frank. Diamond, this is Frank Kelly, the ranch foreman.
Howdy.
Detective fella, huh? Miss Baxter told me about you. Said you was doing some investigating.
Yes, sirree.
Scientific investigation. The way the city boys do it.
What you going to do with that rock?
A hopscotch. Oh, on second thought, I think we'll take turns untying the knots in my back.
Good warm shower, and you'll feel fit as a fiddle.
Well, I got a good start. I'm shaped like one.
You'll find it a little bit rough out here, Diamond.
Oh, I'll get used to it, Mr. Kelly.
I hope you're right. Ain't much like the big city.
Oh? Just what is the big city like, Mr. Kelly?
I ain't never been there. Just what I've noticed. Looks like a man can get pretty soft living in the city.
Well, I'd like to show you where I was brought up sometime, Mr. Kelly. We never got around to playing cowboy, though. We were too busy kicking each other's teeth out.
See you later, Mr. Baxter. So long, Sheriff.
I don't think Frank likes you, Diamond.
Well, what about Will Baxter's horse? I can take a look at him.
Right over there in that stall.
Really pulled up lame.
Oh, good horse. Never figured to shy at anything.
Man, look at that.
His hip's swollen.
Yeah, really twisted something. Steady, boy. Steady.
Hey, that looks like an infection.
Yeah, it's a funny thing. It kind of does.
What are you getting at, Mr. Diamond?
Oh, I'm not getting into thing, Mr. Baxter. I just said it looked like an infection.
Yeah, we better tell Mrs. Baxter or Frank. Have someone take care of it.
Tell me, boys, if you jabbed a horse with something, would that make him bolt? Come on, I want to get back to town and talk with the coroner.
Now, look here, Jim. Ain't my word good enough?
Why, sure it is, Coroner, but Clay hired Mr. Diamond to do some investigating, and he's doing it.
Clay, I tell you, your brother died from natural causes.
I don't think so.
But if you insist, I'll show this detective fella the body.
I want the head wound matched with this rock.
Okay, but the mortuary ain't gonna like it. They got him all ready to bury.
The coroner led me across the street and into a funeral parlor where I took a look at the late Will Baxter. 6 years with the 5th Precinct homicide and a couple of dozen killings should have conditioned me. But like always, the first look shakes something loose in the middle of my stomach, and I have to keep swallowing hard.
Looks right natural, don't he, Clay?
Yeah.
They do a good job here.
Bully for them.
He hit his head right here. Concussion, plain and simple.
No other marks or bruises?
No.
While the coroner rolled the late Will Baxter into one of the back rooms and made a comparison with the head wound and the rock we'd brought in from the ranch, we went out on the front porch for some air. I lit a cigarette and thought about an old case I'd worked on 5 or 6 years before.
You got a cigarette?
Sure, Doc. Picayune all right?
Funny thing.
Head wound doesn't match the rock.
Sure doesn't. Wound is too deep. Rock's round and flat. Nothing sticking up to go that deep.
Then I want an autopsy.
Why? Fracture still killed him?
No, I doubt it. When someone plans a murder, they don't count on one blow to do the trick.
Bet there's nothing else that could have done it.
Well, nothing you can see. I've met someone here in Okmulgee that I'm pretty sure is wanted for another killing very similar to this. Now, Doc, go make that autopsy and fast.
You think maybe you found something, Diamond? You think Will was killed deliberately?
Maybe, but we'll have to wait for the autopsy. In the meantime, I'd like to go out and visit those two old-timers.
Luke and Phineas?
That's right, Sheriff.
Well, it's mighty dangerous. Come on, I'll take you out.
You better wait here for the report. Mr. Baxter and I will go on out.
All right, you can use my horses, so you won't have to go all the way back to the ranch.
Horses?
Well, the Merriweathers are on the other side of town, out about 10 miles, no roads.
Oh, horses, 10 miles. I mean, never play kick the can again.
You really don't take to horses, do you, Diamond?
Maybe if you could find me a nice long thin one. Holy Ike. Whoa, steady.
That's one of the Merriweathers.
Well, let's get out of here. Come on, horse. Now, come on, I'm yelling, I admit it.
Now, it's okay, Diamond. That's just the boys' way of letting you know not to come any farther, unless they say so.
Oh, swell greetings. What happens now?
Hey, up there! Luke! Phineas!
What you want?
It's Clay Baxter. I got a friend here who wants to talk to you.
Phineas? Yeah, Luke? Hey, Baxter. Got some friend who wants to palaver. I don't feel like palavering. Better shoot him.
Giddy up.
Just take it easy. Take it easy. They always act like this.
Phineas don't want to palaver. I gotta shoot you if you don't promote.
It's important. About my brother.
Phineas? Yeah, Luke? It's about his brother, the dead one we found t'other day.
Oh, all right, I guess. Let one of them come up.
Baxter?
Yeah, Luke?
Send your friend on up.
And up I went, leaving my better judgment running off across the desert. I climbed a small hill and found myself standing at the entrance of an old mine shaft. Luke and Phineas and Merriweather stood on either side, shotguns ready, pointed right at my chest.
Start talking.
Well, gentlemen, my name is Diamond.
Don't pay no import to names. What do you want?
Just wanted to ask some questions about the man you found the other day.
You a policeman?
Well, kind of.
Shoot him.
Oh, now, wait a minute. I'm not a real policeman.
Then what are you?
I'm a private detective.
Luke? Yeah.
What's the matter? It's an honest profession. Fellow's got to make a living.
You a real live private detective?
Well, I'm a private detective. The real live part I'm depending on.
Well, my goodness gracious. Come on in, have some victuals.
Huh?
Why, mister, me and Finney read all them stories about you fellas.
Uh-huh.
We filled up one whole tunnel with old detective magazines. You fellas really are something.
Wait a minute.
What's wrong?
Let's see your badge.
Oh, yeah. Sure. There you are.
Oh.
Yes, sir. Well, I'll be dogged. Come on in, friend. Come on in. I'd like to ask you some questions about this here Dick Tracy fella.
Well, 1 minute I'd faced 2 shotguns, and the next I was turned into an honored guest. I had coffee and biscuits with Luke and Phineas, and answered enough questions about the private detective business to fill a dime novel of my own. I squeezed in enough questions to find out that the boys hadn't seen or found anything unusual when they discovered Will Baxter's body. 4 cups of coffee and a dozen biscuits later, I bid the Merriweathers a fond farewell and returned to Clay Baxter.
They loved you?
Oh, worshipped me. They're starting a Richard Diamond fan club.
Well, did you find out anything?
No.
Well, give me your hand. I'll help you up on your horse.
Oh, couldn't I just walk back? Come on, horse. Hold still. Steady, boy. Clay Baxter, sitting in his saddle, had leaned down and grabbed my hand to help me up on my horse, and that was when he got it. His horse took out with the wounded man still up and hanging on. I booted my horse in the ribs. Oh! I took off after Baxter like citation on a good day. I closed my eyes, prayed a little, and tried to remember every jockey I'd ever seen before. Suddenly, I looked up and spotted Baxter's horse dead ahead, standing still and right in my path. Whoa! Oh!
Well, I guess it's just my time. If I don't die from this bullet I got in me, I'm going to do it from laughing.
How is he, Doc?
Oh, he'll be all right. Bullet went clean through, just under the collarbone. Didn't break anything. How do you feel, Mr. Diamond?
Crippled.
Any idea who shot Clay?
No.
Clay said he thought it might have been the Merriweather boys.
No, it couldn't have been.
Why not?
No, the Merriweather boys use shotguns, not rifles. What about that autopsy, Doc? Well, go on. What about it?
You was right. Will Baxter didn't die from a skull fracture.
What was it?
I don't know what was used for sure. A long, thin instrument. Whoever did it pulled the lower eyelid down, killed Will Baxter by jabbing something through the eye into his brain.
Probably hit him over the head to knock him off the horse, and then got down and made sure.
And then jabbed his horse in the flank to make him bolt.
Nasty way to kill a man.
Well, it's been done before. Not a man's way of killing.
Wilma Baxter was in town all day.
When Clay comes around, tell him I borrowed his station wagon.
Going out to see Wilma?
Going out to her ranch. I want to take another look at Will Baxter's lame horse. And, Doc, I want to borrow a pair of surgical probes. I climbed into the station wagon. Close to an hour later, I pulled up on the side of the road. The gate to the ranch house was another 100 yards up ahead. So I piled out, climbed the tall white fence, and slipped into the barn. Steady, fella. Steady. Steady. The horse's left flank was still swollen and very close to a serious infection. I ran my hand over the spot. Steady, boy. There was something still stuck in the flesh, so I used the surgical probes and prayed the horse wouldn't kick my brains out. Whoa. Steady, boy. Steady. There. Sorry, fellow.
I didn't know you were a vet, Mr. Diamond.
Huh? Oh, good evening, Mrs. Baxter.
You know, in this part of the country, you can get shot for horse stealing.
Oh, not stealing. Just taking this out of your horse's flank.
What is it?
That's a piece of a long needle. Might be a hat pin or something.
I think you'd better tell me what this is all about.
Oh, certainly. Your husband was murdered.
That's impossible.
Suit yourself, but he was. Somebody hit him over the head, knocked him from his horse, jabbed this needle into his eye, then jabbed it into the horse's flank so the horse would pull up lame, look like he'd shied. The killer tried to shoot me this evening, but he missed and got Clay Baxter instead.
Who do you think did this?
I don't know. The method doesn't fit a man.
A woman, then?
Well, the blow on the back of the head rules out a woman. Too much force.
What have you got left?
What I started with. A man. And a woman.
Very interesting theory.
Mm-hmm. You're from New York, aren't you?
I've been there.
I thought so. Your face is familiar.
I haven't been in New York in at least 10 years, Mr. Diamond.
Oh, funny. Well, I've got to go out to the Merriweathers.
With those two old miners who found my husband?
Mm-hmm. They saw the murderer.
What?
Yeah, that's why I know how it was done. I was out there earlier, and I've got to go back after a sworn statement.
Well, why didn't they speak up before this?
Afraid. Said it was none of their business. See you later, Mrs. Baxter.
Have another biscuit, Inspector.
No thanks, fellas. 10's plenty.
So Will Baxter was murdered, huh?
That's right, and Mrs. Baxter thinks you two saw who did the killing.
Gonna lay a trap, huh?
Yes, Luke, gonna lay a trap.
Mm.
Now, look, I remembered Mrs. Baxter from someplace the first time I saw her. Then when I found out how the murder was committed, I recalled a case very similar back in New York. Man was hit over the head, pushed down a flight of stairs, and his brain pierced by a hat pin. A man actually did it, but a woman planned it. The man was caught, but the woman disappeared.
Why'd they do it?
The victim was insured. They wanted to make it look like an accident. Come on, we better spread out. We should have company pretty soon. The two old-timers took off their coats and gave me some beat-up pants, which I stuffed with pillows and blankets. In 5 minutes flat, I had two dummies sitting with me at the little table.
You think they'll fall for it?
Well, you can't tell, but you two go on outside and wait until somebody comes in. I just want him to try for one of the dummies.
Well, what if he tries for you?
Killjoy. Luke and Phineas took their place outside the mine, and I smoked a dozen cigarettes, and then I heard someone coming in, moving quietly up the tunnel toward the light. I played it big. Well, that's fine, Phineas. Now, if you'll just sign this statement. I rolled, and the dummy that represented Phineas Merriweather doubled over from the force of the slug. He shot again, and Luke's dummy toppled. I kicked the lamp out before he got around to yours truly.
2 down and 1 to go, Diamond.
I'm afraid I got a big surprise for you, friend.
I ain't worried.
You should be. That wasn't even close. You're a lousy shot.
Yeah?
You missed earlier this evening and got Clay Baxter instead.
I'll make up for it.
No, you won't, friend. Drop it. You heard him drop it.
Okay, all right. Don't shoot.
Wait a minute. Wait, I get the light. Yeah.
Well, hey, it's that Kelly fella.
Yeah, you're getting way out of line for a ranch foreman, Kelly.
Give it to him, Mr. Diamond.
Who had you kill Will Baxter? You know, Kelly, you said something today about getting soft in the city. Wonder just how soft I've gotten.
Maybe you'd like to find out.
Turn him loose, boys.
Yes, sir.
Go on now. Go to it, Mr. Diamond.
I don't like getting shot at. It makes me real unhappy when anyone runs around killing people.
No, go on. Stop him. Do it.
Shut up, Finney, and let him fight.
Now, Kelly, why'd you kill Will Baxter?
Wilma Baxter talked me into it, promised me a share of the ranch.
And for that, you killed a man, huh?
It's a big ranch.
Oh, get up.
Sure hate to see you leave, Mr. Diamond.
I hate to go myself, boys. Love them biscuits.
Maybe we'll get up and see you in New York sometime.
Hey, Kelly's coming, too. Doesn't like being tied to a horse like that, I guess.
Finney.
Yeah, Duke?
Fella's coming, too. Hit him with something.
Yeah, sure.
Good health to all from Rexall. Richard Diamond, Private Detective, stars Dick Powell in the title role and is written by Blake Edwards, with music composed and conducted by Frank Worth. Featured in tonight's cast were Hal March, Arthur Q. Bryan, Virginia Gregg, Barton Yarborough, Wilms Herbert, and Wally Mayer. Richard Diamond, Private Detective, is transcribed in Hollywood by Jaime Del Valle. This is Bill Foreman inviting you to be with us next Wednesday at this time when we will again bring you Dick Powell as Richard Diamond, Private Detective.
And that was from Richard Diamond, Private Detective. You know, one of the things I enjoy about listening to OTR is the music. It was such an important part of radio. It established the mood, moved scenes along, built suspense, and in many programs was part of the entertainment itself. And Dick Powell, of course, came from a musical background. Which gives me a remarkably convenient way to explain about what you're going to hear next. because not too long ago I started playing around with some lyrics. They were about Ron's Amazing Stories, the kind of places we go on the show, the stories we hear, and that feeling that you never quite know what might be waiting around the next bend. And once I had the lyrics, I started thinking, this should really be a song. But there was one small issue. Turning lyrics into actual song traditionally requires a few things. An arranger, an audio engineer, a band, a lead singer, some backup singers, a studio, and unless all these people suddenly decide to work for free, a fairly substantial amount of money. And I didn't have any of that. What I did have was a Suno account. So I gave it my lyrics and this prompt. Use these lyrics and create music in the style of 1940s swing, but in a softer mood. The lead singer should be a male baritone with female backup singers. A few minutes later, I had a song. Now, I know artificial intelligence and music is a complicated subject. Some people love what AI makes possible. Others absolutely hate it, particularly when it comes to creative work. Now, I understand both sides of that argument, and I probably fall somewhere in the middle. I don't want technology to replace creativity. But I do find it fascinating when technology allows someone to take an idea and actually do something with it. I had an idea, I wrote the lyrics, and I roughly knew what I wanted it to sound like. What I didn't have was a swing band hiding in the spare bedroom. And when Suno was finally finished, well, I thought it turned out pretty good. Actually, I thought it turned out really good, enough to share it with you. And just like the RAS Signal, I want to know what you think. Should we ever do something like this again? Or should Ron quietly back away from the AI recording studio and pretend that this never happened? You tell me. So, here is the debut of that classic hit, Ron's Amazing Stories, Around the Bend. No, I'm not so sure about that title either.
There's a trail running west beneath an endless sky. A detective on the corner watching shadows passing by.
There's a voice behind the doorway saying, maybe don't go in.
And a story from a stranger who's not sure where to begin.
Some are strange, some are true.
Some might even make you laugh.
You never know where we're going.
That's the best part of the path.
Come along and lose yourself for a little while. There are places we remember
and things that make us smile.
So turn the dial and come along.
A story's around the bend.
There's a little truth in everyone.
Let's find this journey's end. We might ride into the Old West
or go floating through the stars.
Hear a mystery from long ago
come drifting through the dark.
There are ghosts that need explaining.
There are tales that make you grin.
And sometimes the strangest stories
come from the people listening in. Turn down the lights.
Let the day disappear. There's a world in the telling if you're willing to hear. Come along and lose yourself for a little while.
There are places we remember
and things that make us smile.
So turn the dial and come along.
A story's around the bend. There's a little truth in everyone. Let's find this journey's end.
Well, there you have it. Ron's Amazing Stories Around the Bend. I have to admit, hearing that at the end of an actual episode makes the whole thing feel a little more real. And that brings us to the end of what has definitely been one of the more unusual editions of Ron's Amazing Stories. We debuted the RAS Signal, we spent some time with Richard Diamond, and apparently Ron's Amazing Stories now has its own 1940s swing song. I didn't see that last one coming, but I had an absolute blast putting this show together. And now I really do want to hear from you. Tell me what worked. Tell me what didn't. Tell me what you thought of the RAS Signal. And yes, be honest about the song. Did you like it? You can head on over to ronsamazingstories.com and click on the contact button, or leave a comment wherever you listen to the show. Next week, we'll probably return to our normal format. Probably. Then again, after putting this episode together, I'm beginning to think normal may be an unnecessarily restrictive concept. We'll see. That's one of the nice things about Ron's Amazing Stories. After all these years, there still can be something unexpected waiting around the bend. Okay, maybe that title is starting to grow on me. Until next time, I'm Ron, and this has been Ron's Amazing Stories. Please stay amazing. That was episode number 749, and it was brought to you by Audible. Head to audibletrial.com/Ron's Amazing Stories and get a free audiobook today. You definitely help the show if you do it. Thank you, Audible. If you want to follow the podcast or the blog, head to ronsamazingstories.com. There you will find any of the links that I mentioned and how to contact us. Do you want to help the show? The best thing you can do is to tell your friends all about us and leave reviews and comments wherever you listen. Clicking that follow or like button helps us grow. Thank you for listening, and I hope you come again to find out what are Ron's Amazing Stories.
All of the vintage audio used in the podcast is believed to be in the public domain. Ron's Amazing Stories does not own the rights to any of the old-time radio used here. If you hold the rights to any of the shows played, please contact us immediately at ronsamazingstories.com.
Willing to hear, come along and lose yourself for a little while.
There are places we remember
and things that make us smile.
So turn the dial and come along.
A story's around the bend. There's a little truth in everyone. Let's find